right, we got it this time.
Yep, you ready? You look like you're working hard there, so.
Yeah, I'm coming up with more stuff.
Should I stop and?
Nope, we're ready.
Okay.
It's better. Honestly, my notes are better if I just, if you're saying, hey, should I restart it? And then I just put 3 words down.
Okay.
How do you do? We're about to unfold the story of
The Son of Frankenstein.
This one is probably just as bad as his father.
Good morning, son.
Well, hello.
My son, you have inherited the fortune of the Frankensteins. I trust you will not inherit their fate.
By heaven, I think you're a worse fiend than your father. What are you going to do about it? There's a monster afoot and you know it.
Well, we've warned you.
You've been warned. Welcome back to Frankenstein Minute, the podcast that dissects the Universal Frankenstein film series minute by minute. I almost forgot because it's been so long since we did the last one.
True.
I'm Thom Lang.
Tom's right. It's the Frankenstein Minute where we...
Did I not say that?
Tom's right. This is the podcast where we dissect the Universal Frankenstein film series minute by minute. And I'm Bill Evenson. And you've joined us for minute 90.
90 minutes. Good
90
God.
minutes. That's almost an hour and a half.
Almost?
Son of Frankenstein, starring Roland V. Lee and
Jack Otterston and Ted
Jack
Kent
Pierce and Ted Kent.
Yep.
Sure. Directed
Willis
by
Cooper,
Bela Lugosi,
Oh,
and starring. Okay.
Yeah.
Written by Boris Karloff.
Starring
All right.
William Henry Pratt.
And what happens in this?
What happens is Wolf is
William Henry Pratt and Bela Blashko.
Wolf is continuing to poke around carefully in the lab, gun drawn at the ready.
Yeah, and it's great because we've been in this lab before, and I love it because we've spent a lot of time not in this lab on this podcast.
Yeah.
A lot of time throwing darts and fucking fireplaces and shit like that.
Throwing drinks into fireplaces.
Like, did this guy throw his jacket over here for this reason? You know, it's very
been a lot of
limited. And so now here we are in the great set. Actually, we have criticized this set
It's not a
before.
great set.
It's not as good as the Bride set or the Frankenstein's. Thank you. I did actually remember the name of the first one.
Well,
I didn't have a problem with that
I
word.
wasn't sure. Couldn't tell.
I was going to go the first film or something, but
right.
anyway, so it's fun to see this.
But it's
stuff
good
again.
to be back. Yeah.
And one of the things I noticed right away is the big mirror is still flipped over, and that's not a big deal. But continuity in this film is pretty
jagged. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not jagged. You mean it's not good?
It's not good.
Oh, I think it is good. I think the continuity of the sets and stuff like that is good. I think the only continuity issues you're going to be able to really criticize in this film is
the script.
The dialogue. Why is this guy doing this? Why is he over there? I think it matches well, and this is a good sign of that. That mirror is still flipped over.
Was tipped over. Okay.
But was it filmed more or less chronologically?
And I think that's why some things are a little wonky continuity-wise. They would film on each set. I don't know that they had all sets standing at all times.
But it's like they did.
Kind of.
Because otherwise you would expect that, for example, the dart scene would have been filmed right after they filmed the other scene where those two same guys were in that same room.
I'm guessing it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing as well. Yeah.
I mean, that's on any normal film, that's how it's done, yeah.
You would hope.
Some things are shot in sequence. I mean, we did a bonus episode, we talked a little bit about Stan Laurel. He liked to shoot in sequence because they were keeping the rhythm up, but also for continuity, something happens and, Babe, Oliver's hat gets burned up or whatever, so it's
to keep
that continuity.
Keep the continuity.
Yeah.
It's like you watch those making of Evil Dead movies, any of them.
Yeah.
There's somebody who's assigned to make sure they know
absolutely.
which cuts are on Bruce Campbell's
Absolutely.
face. Because by the end of that film, he's going to be covered in cuts.
No
matter which one.
Yeah, nothing but cuts by the end of it.
Actually, that may have been a bonus episode. I can't remember. We went to this store by my house that sells comic books, and one of the toys they had was Bruce Campbell from The Evil Dead.
The original?
It just says The Evil Dead, and they open it up. It's the original. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, look at that. And Jackie's like, that doesn't look like him. I'm like, oh, you haven't seen the first one.
Yeah.
He looks exactly like him. Anyway, great music.
Yes.
Very intense.
It's
Wolf comes in.
Suspenseful music, yeah.
And you laughed. I wrote here.
Did I?
Thom laughs.
During this minute?
Yeah, as soon as Wolf walks into the lab, you laughed. Okay, maybe I wrote it wrong.
I don't remember. I don't know. Maybe I did. I don't
Great
remember.
music, intense. Thom
Oh,
laughs.
I think it's the fight they have is
that could
really, really awkwardly done.
Okay, well,
And
all
that
right.
might have been what I laughed at.
Here's the thing about it. Are we there yet, or do you have more on the?
No.
For that?
Other than, just Wolf pokes around carefully with his gun, and Ygor pokes around carefully with his hammer.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's about.
And
it.
then when they finally confront each other, I think it's actually blocked well. It's choreographed well, if there's a choreographer. But it is a little clumsy because these two old guys are trying to do a physical scene, and there's nothing physical really happening there.
Wolf kind of kicks at.
Well, Wolf uses what I think is funny is he uses the rope. He grabs the rope
To stable
swing
himself,
in to
yeah,
kick him
yeah.
to kick Ygor in the belly.
Yep.
But leading up to that confrontation does make a kind of sense. Like maybe if you sped it up to 1.5%, it would look a little better. Ygor takes a swing. Wolf dodges the swing. They kind of spin around that thing, and then he kicks him and he kicks him across the room. I think it works. It's just
certainly
a little
better than like Captain Kirk and the Gorn.
Okay. Yeah,
Most
exactly.
every fight in cinema history is better than Captain Kirk.
That's a low bar.
It is,
absolutely,
yeah, it is,
sure,
definitely.
but we've cleared it.
Yep. Ygor throws his hammer somewhere.
He misses by so much it doesn't even appear in the frame.
It does not even. Yeah.
But that's to me that's a watching it minute by minute thing. I don't know that I ever cared before.
I think watching
But
it
it's
as a regular human being would watch it.
Yeah.
You probably
You don't
wouldn't notice
that he throws the hammer and doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
When it looks from the angle you're watching it, it looks like it hit him right in the forehead. So you'd think you'd at least see it.
Yeah, or you hear it clatter or whatever.
But it, to their credit, it doesn't matter because when you cut to the other angle, the one guy shoots the other
him
guy
right away. Yep.
Yeah.
So he shoots 2 shots. Make that 3 shots into Ygor.
Yeah, that's weird.
Because bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. So he
And
does
there's an
bang,
edit,
bang.
And there's an edit
and
to
then
Ygor doubling over.
Igor's
then another
doubled
bang.
over. He's dying.
Yeah.
It's like, this is weird to actually think about. What he reminds me of is a real thing that happens 30 years later. No, 23 years later. He reminds me of Oswald getting shot by Jack Ruby.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like that. He does that kind of
The
double over. He
buckle
grabs his tummy.
stomach, yeah.
And then there's a third shot that doesn't seem to affect him
Seem
at
to
all.
do anything, yeah.
Yeah, maybe hit him again. Doesn't matter.
Which appears to have been added in post, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it just sort of comes out of nowhere.
So
I think the first 2 were effective.
more
enough.
than sufficient.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Wolf is he's a very.
Would have been great.
He's
Wouldn't it have been great if when
He's very thorough, our Wolf.
Well, when Igor is like laying on the floor and Wolf kind of goes up to him, just empties the gun into him.
Into his skull.
Yeah,
right into his face.
Die, you motherfucker.
What's the movie? Actually, you've seen Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Where they take machine guns to Hitler.
Yeah.
And Hitler's laying on the floor, and there's 2 guys. I mean, not to spoil it because this is the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But 2 guys are shooting Hitler and a few other people. I think Goebbels is in there.
Yeah.
And Hitler's face just doesn't even look even remotely real. Like Jack Pierce would laugh because it just looks like clay being shot up. But it's very cathartic to watch
Hitler being machine
shot up
gunned.
by a
Yeah,
machine gun.
yeah,
I gotta admit,
absolutely.
I'm the sucker for that.
Any movie with Hitler being
Any movie with Hitler getting machine guns
is all right by you.
Is all right by me.
All right.
Did Wolf come there to kill Ygor? He's got the gun.
I think he did.
Yeah, he's ready to kill
because he's threatened.
Remember our
before.
cliffhanger from last week was will Wolf kick Ygor off the estate, or will Ygor kick Wolf off the estate?
Well, I think that settled the argument.
I guess so. So nobody gets kicked off the estate
because
Ygor is killed. He's murdered by Wolf.
And he staggers and falls to the floor, and the film gets a whole lot less interesting.
Well, but I mean, we're at minute 90. This thing's over.
Yeah, well, you'd think.
More or less over.
One would think, but...
Here's something that occurred to me, I think yesterday. Doesn't matter when. Months ago now.
All right.
This is where they met. This is the exact, almost the exact same blocking where they met.
Yeah.
And Igor's first line in this film, the first thing he ever said to Wolf was, "I thought you came here to kill me." I just thought that, for some reason that struck me, so I went back and looked, and like, sure enough, it's the first thing out of his mouth in this room.
Well, and the first thing...
I thought you came here to kill me.
The first thing Ygor does when they meet is try to kill Wolf.
That's true.
So
yeah, we've come full circle.
That's right. So maybe it's a better movie than I thought. No. I'm not going to go that far.
No one has ever been less convincing. The people on Big Bang Theory are more I don't know.
Oh dear.
Whoops. So Wolf's hair. I really like Wolf's
No, it's
hair.
like hanging kind of.
It's like
Hans Conried kind of style hanging in his face. There.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, for God's sake.
I'll tell you who I think.
The right people will get it.
You know who
says Joel
think he looks like is Lon Chaney Jr.
Oh,
He'll
yeah.
frequently have his
Have
hair
his hair
like
hanging
this.
in.
And
yeah.
so I watched this movie in the, probably the 90s. Like old movies in the 90s looked like a different era, partly because of the hair. And
Well, I have to say, old movies in the 70s looked like a different
I was
era.
going to say the 70s even more so.
Yeah.
Because everybody had long hair in the 70s. You watched, like, if there was a C-SPAN in the 70s, like
Tom Brokaw
Kennedy had long
yeah,
hair.
well,
Everybody
yeah.
had long hair. But this is the 30s, and there's this guy whose hair just kind of comes tumbling out.
Well,
So
it's because it's like greased back.
It's
Everybody
a
sort of
slicked
had
back
that
hair.
had that sort of real creamy look to their hair.
Yeah.
And then when it falls in front of their face, there's a weight to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it kind of looks cool. You see that a lot in like serials when there's a fight.
Absolutely. Well, and again, Lon Chaney Jr. looks like this a fair amount over the...
It's usually like the morning after kind of thing.
come back in 2 years when we talk about...
Frankenstein meets the Wolfman.
I guess so, right?
Or
It would
Frankenstein
be-
Wolf's the Meat Man.
That one too. We'll have to do both.
Both
somehow.
movies. Oh, they just added a whole.
But I mean,
Excuse me.
Larry Talbot does that frequently. Yeah.
It's like I said. It's usually the morning after kind of a thing.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, that's true. When they find him on the street, his hair
a
is
little disheveled. Yeah.
or frozen in a block of ice. That's the case.
That's not good for your hair either.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
that's obviously this is not a thing for me. I don't
Yeah, well,
keep up on the latest.
Well, look at me. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're getting there.
Yeah.
I'm a little ahead of you in that one.
Yeah, that one
aging
area,
aspect.
yeah. Wolf looks him over.
He doesn't check to see if he's okay.
Are you
know
okay
what I
there?
mean?
Sorry, man. Hey,
Hey, are you all
hey,
right?
right? Sorry, I got a little out of hand. I'm sorry.
mean, you came at me with a hammer. I mean, isn't Dr. Frankenstein bound by the Hippocratic Oath?
To do no harm. Isn't that the first thing?
I love that I said doctor and your eyebrow went up. Who? He's
No,
not a doctor.
In this instance, he is.
I suppose he is.
Yeah.
But is he bound by the Hippocratic Oath?
It
Is he
depends on
that
what kind of
doctor?
what kind of doctor he is. Yeah, I don't think he's a medical doctor.
Was Hippocrates a medical doctor? Is that his name? Hippocrates?
Yeah, it's the Hippocratic Oath. As far as ancient Greece goes, he's probably as close to a medical doctor as there could be.
I kind of like the idea of a hero who fatally shoots someone and then tries to save him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how often does that happen? It happens. It happens
on occasion.
in like a military movie.
Yeah,
You'd see
yeah.
that or something. I think that's a very profound action to take.
Yeah.
You don't get that at all with Wolf.
Oh, even-
Wolf kind of looks at him like he's...
I guess he's dead. He doesn't even like poke at him or anything.
Concerned.
Yeah.
He doesn't even poke him.
No,
He doesn't
he doesn't-
grab a stick.
He just
and
stands
poke
there
him.
and kind of looks at him. Then he goes and burns his face off looking into the
Yeah, that's true.
sulfur pit.
Well, I have that. Yeah. Why
Why does he go
What is
back-
he looking for? Is he looking for
I
Frankenstein?
think he's looking for Frankenstein.
Well, where is Frankenstein?
Just cave. Or sorry, just cave.
Just kidding. That would make a lot of sense.
He's having a nap again down there.
Did he just wake him?
He might have woken
I guess
him
we'll
up.
see.
We'll find out.
This will be another cliffhanger.
Another cliffhanger. Ooh, well, hang on. Stay tuned. What was it? Same Frankentime. Was that whole thing? Yeah.
Did you say Franken or Frankenstein? Yeah, you must have said Franken-minute. Frankentime.
Same Frankentime.
Who cares what you said?
I don't care.
No one's listening.
Nope.
So he's looking for Frankenstein. Okay, then. Oh, I have something. God damn it. Hey, do you have your Facebook?
Yeah.
I wanted to. Damn it. I was supposed to be more organized than this.
Susan Pugh commented on our photo. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know what she's doing. She's up to some weird business there. So my thought, well, wait, so you got it already?
Yeah.
Look at you. Rewind it. So I thought once he's done looking over the edge at the sulfur pit, then he runs across the room and he kind of flits across the room.
Yeah,
and
kind
it's
of
kind of
prances.
funny. He prances a bit.
Not quite as much as Kranz.
I can't imagine a better segue. I have taken the music from this scene and I have put it on the Kranz prancing scene.
Is that
Let
what
me
we
see
got?
what you think.
Is that what we got here?
Yes, I hope so.
Where's the...
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think it works perfectly.
Yeah, that's great. That's pretty funny. You'll have to
That's
post...
the only thing missing from that shot.
Okay.
No, all right, crayons.
Stop.
Crayons.
You'll have to post that when this episode goes.
I would, but I showed it to Jackie, and she's like, I don't get it.
Nah, I think it's hilarious.
It'll work. In context, it'll work. I'll put the logo at the beginning. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
There you go. I guess my original thing was, it looks kind of silly if you watch it a number of times. You watch Rathbone kind of
flit out. Yeah.
And the music is like...
Again, the word fruity maybe comes
fruity,
to mind.
A little bit fruity.
Yeah, a little bit. And meanwhile, then Krog continues to poke around Peter's room without a search warrant.
Or without permission, actually, again.
I guess, yeah. No, he doesn't need permission. He's
we're
fucking,
beyond that.
He's fucking Inspector Krog, man.
That's true.
Do whatever he wants.
That's right. He's, what's the guy's name from French Connection?
Popeye Doyle.
Popeye Doyle. He's I already said...
Gene Hackman.
But I already said Touch of Evil. Hank Quinlan.
Hank Quinlan,
You know what I mean? You might not approve of his methods, but
he gets the job
he's always
done.
right.
He gets the job done.
Has he been wrong about anything?
Krog?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know of anything.
No.
All right.
He does
He's poking around.
He
does some expert arm stuff. I wrote
he
expert
does.
arm stuff after watching
he's
that.
still got the arm.
He's totally got it. Yeah, you're doing you explain it. You're like doing arm wrestling as opposed to...
Yeah, his arm is like
yoga.
crooked up.
Yeah.
And, it's rock steady. He doesn't waver. They take a lot of concentration, I would think, for that kind of a performance.
It almost seems like he's doing I shouldn't say too much. But he's maybe putting more into this than is required, which I appreciate.
Possibly, but that's fine. I think
Absolutely.
It's great. Yeah, I don't see a problem. Then he finds down at the I don't know what that would be, the trim or the wainscoting or whatever.
It's like a 3 foot tall wainscoting.
It's really big.
But it's a big giant castle,
but
so who knows?
Everything in this movie is big.
That's right.
And in that he finds a little...
There's a giant in this movie.
There's a jant as well. He finds a little panel that pops open.
Yeah.
He seems to know exactly what to do.
Well,
he doesn't feel around in it like you would.
Well, that's interesting.
It just always seemed like he found.
He doesn't fumble.
He finds
looking for the switch.
He finds it too easily.
I guess
because you usually
Jackie said that when we were watching. She's like, "Well, how convenient is that?" I'm like, "Well, no, he knew." My thing is, he knows that hidden doors are a thing in a castle like this.
I guess
he's already looking.
He's seen enough movies to know.
Yeah, and Peter said
it's exactly what he's looking for.
Peter said
the giant came
in through the wall. Peter is avenged. I have no idea.
He's vindicated.
Vindicated. Poe is avenged. Let's go in that direction.
You want to talk about over the top? Yeah.
Why not?
Giving too much. Yeah. Whew.
To be honest, this is the last thing I have. Peter is avenged.
Okay. The switch opens the wall over there. The minute ends.
I love that you've reached this point with Donnie's performance that you're actually trying to do it. Like you're not even mocking anymore. You're trying to get it exactly right.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's all that happens. The door opens and he dies. Wait, does he die in this? No, I'm kidding. I just made that up. Be great.
What if Krog dies or
anybody? I don't think anybody's gonna die.
Well, it's a code movie, so they had to limit the deaths.
Yeah, that's true.
Do we have a question?
No, I think we have two that I can.
Oh my God, I have to pee. So let's.
All right, you go pee then. Do you want to do it or do you want to pee?
I can stop it and it'll pick it up as when we come back.
Perfect. Do that. Okay, so what I was going to do was...
Do we have a question?
Pull up the questions. So we have two.
Okay. Okay.
Are we back?
Yeah, we're back. Got any more questions, wise ass?
Johnny Edify commented on YouTube on our, I don't know, an episode called The General. I can't read the number.
We've had him
we've had him on. Yeah. Or I've had him
We've answered his
fucking wise ass comments before.
Okay.
He commented, the actual blute, so everybody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, we talked about it a few weeks ago.
So Ygor frequently plays his horn in the thing, in the little tower. And we mocked the soundtrack for saying it's a flute solo.
Then we mocked the Rob Zombie soundtrack CD for calling it a blute solo.
That wasn't that one. That one said that's the one that says flute solo.
That's right.
I think.
That's right. Then we found on the soundtrack CD of Son of Frankenstein, it's called a blute
solo, and you think it's
it's a typo.
Well, Johnny Edify says the actual blute in quotes, he puts blute in quotes, is either an oboe or English horn, both double reed woodwinds. Now here's what I think he's getting at.
I think oboe. I think he's talking about what made the sound
played
on the soundtrack.
on
yes.
the soundtrack. Yeah.
And I think he's right. Oboe, I think. I couldn't think of the word when we
I
answered
said,
it.
what does Woody Allen play? And you
clarinet,
said clarinet. And I'm
which
like, yeah,
is-
it's a clarinet.
And it's too deep for a clarinet.
Yeah, it's
but
more like an oboe,
Oboe sounds
absolutely.
absolutely right.
Or an English horn, sure.
Yeah,
I'll take Johnny's
I don't know.
word for it.
Yep.
I mean, both are double reed woodwinds. I think we all knew that.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
Did that
pretty
feel like?
obvious.
Did that sound like I was reading it?
I mean,
Damn
who
it.
doesn't know that?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got, you know.
That goes without saying.
All right. And then,
thank you for.
Thanks, Johnny.
Johnny, yeah.
I think he responded back and said that he was the same as some other Johnny. Like he might be a Patreon or something.
Okay.
So thank you, Johnny. Cut that part out. Cut this whole episode. All right. We also have an additional. We have a bonus.
Bonus.
That sound of the bonus going up. We have a bonus. What is it called?
Got any more questions? Why is that?
From Count Orlock.
Uh-oh.
So we got an alert on
Max
YouTube that Count
Shrek?
Orlock, and he looks just like Max Shrek.
Is he?
There's a picture there.
Oh, yeah.
Can't see.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You can't see that from that far away, but it is. It is a picture of Max Shrek. Follows our podcast on YouTube.
Okay.
And this podcast, or I'm sorry, this podcast, I'm reading and talking at the same time. This comment is on our, it's like episode 1.02.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we got to get this in because he's not going to hear this for a very long time.
yeah.
I assume it's a he. Count Orlock sounds like a guy.
Otherwise, it'd be Countess Orlock.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, here's the comment. I just discovered this great podcast.
Okay.
I assume he means our podcast.
It's called Gilbert Gottfried's Amazing Colossal.
Shoot. I have some bad news.
Damn it.
Oh, boy. Okay. I love the Universal horror films. This is,
right.
Everything's going great.
Yeah, so far so good.
You guys were discussing the use of Swan Lake as the movie theme. It was used in 4 Universal films that I know of. And then I thought, this would be fun. Do you know the 4 films?
Well, I know it's Dracula, Murders in the Rue Morgue.
I didn't know I thought there was a second one that was more obvious than Murders.
Oh, is there? It's not the Mummy, is it?
Yes.
It's the Mummy? Okay. The 4th one?
Is tougher.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking. I
not,
figured you'd get the first 3. I would
yeah.
never get the 4th one, ever.
Okay.
I've never seen it.
I'm drawing
Maybe that's too
I'm
much
drawing
of
a blank.
You want to take a guess? So try and pick a Universal film from that era, Lemley era. Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you want me to let you know if it's up there? It's not up there.
I don't think it is.
No.
No. It's not Mystery of Edwin Drood.
No, but it's you're on
the right track. I'm on the
yeah,
right.
more or less.
Secret of the Blue Room.
Ding! Nice. You only got one wrong.
Okay.
You got it. Secret of the Blue Room. Thank you, Count Orlock,
Yeah.
for that quiz question.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have people send us quiz questions.
Sure.
I'll just cheat. It's a quiz of you. There's no way I wouldn't have gotten Murders in the Rue Morgue, to be honest.
Oh, really?
I haven't watched it enough.
Dracula would be
Dracula
right.
and the Mummy to me are,
Yeah.
that's just sort of like the cherry on top. Because everybody says Dracula and the Mummy are the same story, which I think is dumb.
I think it's bullshit.
But
I mean,
where
even
in as much-
Balderston said that, and I think he was just being facetious. But
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I mean, if that's true, I think the only way to make that sort of true is to say that The Mummy is maybe a better adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula because the story of Dracula it's perplexing. It doesn't even really hold up. Whereas The Mummy is about that romance.
Yes.
And so then you get this idea that Dracula is a romance, and then the promotional materials and 90 years of bullshit
Bram
convince us
Stoker's
it's a
novel.
romance.
Yeah, Bram Stoker's novel Dracula is in no way, shape, or form a romance.
Okay, well then I'm wrong.
No, but the Mummy
But the Mummy
absolutely
certainly is. Yeah, and that's one
Which
of
I
the
think is
big
why
strengths of the film.
Yeah, one of the many things that elevate it above Dracula, the film.
Yeah, and so I think the one thing that I do in my brain is they do occupy a similar space for a number of reasons. They're Universal Lemley
The
films
Laemmle
that came out
films
within less than 12 months, I think. Maybe. Maybe not. This Valentine's Day for Dracula, and I can't remember The Mummy, so maybe a little
But it was
bit.
the next year,
Yeah,
for sure.
So, but right in that same era, and they have the same theme song, and it is a similar
theme song.
I guess.
There's lyrics to it. So.
What are the lyrics? Are there lyrics to Swan Lake?
No, it's a ballet.
Does he even say Swan Lake in that comment?
Yeah, he does.
Okay. Use of Swan Lake. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. That's our bonus.
I'm just curious why it was chosen. I mean, it sort of fits, but out of that context, out of the context of being a title sequence for a Universal horror film, it's not a creepy sounding song, but when it's applied to, and I think it's because it's played at a slightly slower tempo for the opening credits stuff,
right,
than it would be for, say, the production of the ballet.
One of the things I think is, and I'm sure you've felt this way too. It's been years now since these came out. The DVDs and now Blu-rays and now 4K Blu-rays come with these documentaries that accompany the film.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to say? Dracula, that theme repeats throughout the documentary as if we're supposed to associate it with Dracula.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I guess I do, but it doesn't have any meaning for me. To me, maybe it's more The Mummy, to be honest, because The Mummy is it's a better film.
It's a way better film, yeah.
But it is a romance, and it is a thoughtful film, I guess. Just it has a depth to it that Dracula doesn't have.
Right.
So when you play the theme song over and over again in a documentary talking about Bela Lugosi doing it on the stage or whatever it is you're talking about,
it doesn't really ring true.
Really ring,
I agree.
It doesn't resonate.
I agree. Yeah.
All right, that's it.
Okay.
We're done.
Okay.
Quit
then.
saying I agree. That's not what this podcast is about.
You're wrong, though. It is.
Hey, follow us on Patreon. If we're in the middle, people will know we're in the middle of our pledge drive.
Membership drive, yep.
Yeah, membership drive is better, because if you send us a note saying, I promise
you don't necessarily follow through.
That is what those pledge drives were. That's interesting.
It used to be, yeah. Now it's
credit card.
Credit card.
Yeah, I pledge with my credit card.
Yeah, we give every month
to TPT.
No, NPR.
Oh, okay, NPR.
Yeah.
So why NPR?
Because it's the only thing we listen to on the radio anymore.
Is that right?
The news and the classical, yeah.
Okay. No, you do listen to the classical.
Oh yeah, it's my drive home. I would kill somebody if I didn't have something like that on. Yeah, driving out of downtown at 4:00 on a weekday, I come home with PTSD every day. Yeah,
sure.
It's awful. And I think because of the pandemic, people forgot that there are other people on the road because they drive like there's nobody else around.
I don't think anything's changed where that's concerned. I think people driving downtown Minneapolis is as bad as it has been for 50 years.
Yeah.
You know, because we Minnesotans and presumably a lot of different people in this part of the world or even on the East Coast or whatever would say, oh, everybody forgets how to drive, and then a single snowflake falls and everybody forgets how to drive. And I do it in my life, and I go, sure enough, everybody forgot how to drive because a single snowflake hit the ground. But that's been going on forever.
It's been that way forever.
And people being assholes on the road, maybe that is worse.
I think that's gotten worse. That's gotten worse.
It's the asshole part.
Yes.
Okay.
The thing I don't understand
is this part of our Patreon?
It is. Yeah. So this is the kind of stuff you get.
That's true.
The $2
we did a whole bonus episode talking about traffic in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Here's the one thing that I don't think everybody knows this. Minneapolis has a series of tubes between each building. So do you take, they're called Skyways.
I do.
And if you haven't heard the song Skyway by the Replacements, you are now required to just hit pause and then go and listen to that and come back because it explains it very well. Is it all Skyways from your work, your desk to your car? Do you even bring a jacket to the office?
Sometimes I leave it in the car because it's, I park in the ramp that's right behind the new city building, the public service building, and I park in the ramp right behind that. So I
thought you used to park over by like the Target Center and walk.
Oh, we used to when we carpooled every day.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a mile walk each way, but all through Skyways. We never went outside.
Right.
So we would leave our coats in the car.
Yep.
There we go. And that's fascinating stuff for people.
This is the kind of stuff you get.
But in the Netherlands,
for $2 a month.
In the Netherlands, where we're big, that's going to be really. That's going to go
that's
over
going to
well.
really translate.
Yeah.
People are going to be. We're going to be like, what happened to Patreon? It's all Dutch. It's all Deutschmarks. No wait, what are the Dutch? Who cares?
Who cares?
Bye. See you next week when we find out where Krog went.
Talk about the Monkees, the Beatles, Monty Python, and the Marx.
Done.